Hi, fellow YouTube citizens. I apologize for being so very late with this video right here. I've been doing a series on the work of Paul Thomas Anderson, the director of The Master, which is coming out this Friday. I said that I'd post my review on his film Punch Drunk Love no later than Thursday, I think. Here it is Sunday evening already. But I've been sick. I was very busy last weekend and I've been sick, but I'm just basically now becoming normal again. So it's now comfortable for me to talk for minutes at a time on camera. Punch Drunk Love came out in 2002, 10 years ago now. And I feel that it's really considered the runt of the litter as far as PTA's work. Not only is it not as long or ambitious or as epic in scope as any of his other movies, barring Hard 8. It stars Adam Sandler, you know. And I remember, I think it was in late 2001, there was an article on one of my favorite movie websites, one that I would go to for information about casting and what have you. The headline of the article was, Brett Ratner's directing a Hannibal Lecter movie. The director of LA Confidential is working with Eminem. Paul Thomas Anderson's making an Adam Sandler comedy. What the hell's going on in Hollywood? Has everyone gone crazy? So, yeah, I'm not really sure what the inspiration for the project was, but Adam Sandler's character is unlike a lot of the other characters he's played in his comedies, in that he's prone to childish behavior and temper tantrums, perhaps, but it's grounded more in a specific psychological reality. His character's name is Barry Egan. He owns a small business supplying custom-made toilet plungers to businesses, hotels, and what have you. Like, for example, his plunger for a casino in Las Vegas basically has a little dice on the top of it, you know, just silly stuff like that. That's his business. He lives alone, he's not married, and he has 7 older sisters, all of whom tend to torment him. They've been tormenting him since he was a little kid, and they continue to torment him. In the first scenes of the movie, they're all telling him that he has to come to a party at a house, at one of their houses, where they'll all have their husbands and their kids with them and everything like that. And he's just like, I'm not really sure I want to go. No, you have to go, you have to go. They keep bugging him about it. They're bugging him about the stupidest things, like his use of the word chat instead of speak or something like that. And they'll keep telling stories about how they would embarrass him when he was a real little kid. And he got so mad he started breaking windows and everything like that. They would rehash these things over and over and over again, all while belittling him. And when I first saw this movie, I wasn't really all that fond of it because I thought it was just as dumb as any other Adam Sandler movie. But the second and third times I see it, I see a lot more value in it because it's clear he's the victim of a lot of psychological distress at the hands of his sisters that all kind of gang up on him over time. So he's very withdrawn. He's not comfortable in his skin. He's not comfortable socially. He has guys that he works with, but he really doesn't get out a lot. He lives alone, of course. And the story is kind of set in motion when one of his sisters, who's played by Mary Lynn Rajskub, you may remember her as Chloe from 24, the computer expert working with Kiefer Sutherland in 24. She was also in Magnolia, but she wasn't actually on camera. She was just an assistant that Tom Cruise talks to on the phone in one scene. She's a very good comic actress, but she is an individual who works with Emily Watson's character, and Emily Watson apparently sees a picture of Adam Sandler, her brother, at her desk and said, gee, he looks like a nice guy, I'd like to meet him. And his sister goes, really? You know? A funny thing about it is that sometimes they don't have any bones about ridiculing him or thinking that he's a strange guy, but they take offense when other people think he's strange. It's very, very weird. But the funny thing about Emily Watson's character is that she may actually be fixated in an unhealthy way on poor Barry Egan. There's a scene where she goes to a grocery store shopping for food, and you can see this person sort of mirroring his movements in the background. There's a couple of shots where you just see someone out of focus or just in the distance, but it's probably a woman, and it's probably a woman who appears to be wearing the same color outfit that Emily Watson was. This is before she actually even formally meets him. In the opening scene of the movie, she drops her car off under the pretense that it needs to be fixed, but really she just wanted to meet him and introduce herself. So when her sister makes a formal introduction, neither of them bring up the fact that she was already there and they already met. You know, that would be an extraordinary coincidence. She admits later on that she knew about him and that she wanted to meet him and just drop her car off under the pretense of meeting him. But clearly, something's going on there. She's got some an unusual and perhaps unhealthy fascination with him. Because she was following him around and stuff earlier in the film before they actually started dating. So some of the other things that happen in this movie involve him trying to acquire a lot of frequent flyer miles by taking advantage of a poorly planned contest that Healthy Choice, maker of regular dine at home foods, is doing. And at one point he calls up a phone sex line and talks with a girl, but then he starts getting blackmailed by the people who run the sex line. And that turns out to be Philip Seymour Hoffman's character. He's running the whole business out of his mattress company out of his mattress store in Utah. So he's dealing with them and dealing with his sister's judgment and constantly questioning him and constantly wanting to know what's going on between him and Emily Watson. And he doesn't feel comfortable about talking about any of that stuff because he's just naturally a withdrawn and socially uncomfortable person. And I think probably one of the reasons why I didn't like this movie so much is because that kind of reminded me a little bit of myself. I too have been ridiculed as a kid and made to feel ugly or unattractive, whatever, and consequently had some issues, communicating with people and feeling self-confidence, having self-esteem issues. So kind of maybe a bit like the 40-Year-Old Virgin. I really didn't dig that movie. And as a matter of fact, it took me about 6 hours to watch the 40-Year-Old Virgin because I kept having to pause it and just take a break from it because it was just so embarrassing what the guy was going through in every single scene. So I don't really feel that way about Punch Drunk Love. I have an easy time getting through it because it's very stylishly shot. Paul Thomas Anderson, he's very good, in coming up with exciting, interesting ways to shoot scenes and to cut them. He'll let shots go on for a long time, and then he'll have a quick series of shots that are very dynamically framed and move really well. Guy's a really good stylist. So although this movie doesn't get the attention that some of his other films do, I A, think it's better than Boogie Nights for sure, and B, it's consistently better than Magnolia, because Magnolia is 3 hours long, and so it has twice as many opportunities to not be as good as the rest of it. You know what I'm saying? It's just one of those things where it's a shorter movie, it's simpler, and so I guess it's easier to just achieve whatever it is you want to achieve. But I think it's a really good movie. I don't like it as much as Hard 8, or There Will Be Blood for that matter, but still a decent movie. Yeah, it's a good one. I know some people probably don't like it as much as the other ones just because maybe it's Adam Sandler or whatever. But I see more going on there than just the usual Adam Sandler stuff, and I think that's why PTA wanted to do it. Or it's that way because PTA did it. Yeah, that's more the point. So yeah, Punch Drunk Love, you haven't given it a chance, you really ought to, because it's decent. Now, I've got one more video to do before The Master comes out. That's There Will Be Blood. I want to get that done on Tuesday or Wednesday, and I promise I'm going to do it no later than Wednesday, because The Master comes out on Friday. I'll be seeing it. I'll be reviewing it the next 2 days after that, because I'll be seeing it opening day. But before I sign off, I want to, of course, give you your next clue as to the mystery director, director number 3. Now, this clue involves film ratings. For those of you who don't live in America, we have an organization called the Motion Picture Association of America, which rates movies generally by letters. For example, G is general audiences, appropriate for anyone including kids. PG, appropriate for older kids and up. PG-13, appropriate for older teens and up. And R, suitable pretty much just for adults, and then NC-17. Here's the thing. The IMDb isn't listing MPAA ratings anymore. They used to have those ratings and the UK ratings on their website as well, and they don't seem to have them anymore. I looked around for them, I couldn't find them. So in order to verify a movie's rating, you need to go to the MPAA website, which is mpaa.org. And you could basically type in any movie title and get the rating for it. So, mystery director number 3 has made a number of feature films. Not all of them have been rated by the ratings board, but of the ones that have, 1 is rated G, 1 is rated PG, 1 is rated PG-13, and all the rest are rated R. So, however many movies he's done, 1 G, 1 PG, 1 PG-13, all the rest are R. That is your clue. And I'll have one more clue on my video for There Will Be Blood, and possibly one for the Master. I'm not really sure what it is right now. I haven't settled on anything. So anyway, thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this, and I hope you enjoy the next one. And I hope that I enjoy the Master. I hope we all do. I'm very, very excited to see it, finally. Thanks for watching, guys. Take it easy.